Hello everyone, welcome to Starting Out Solitary. I am MonsoonMagick, your Wednesday host, and this week we are talking about having practices from other faiths, specifically Christianity, as part of our practice. If you followed me on my personal channel at all, you know that I do come from a Christian background. I was raised Roman Catholic and went to Mass, confirmation, First Communion, all that stuff until I was about 16. And then at that point, my family found the Pentecostal church, and we went to a very spirit-filled Pentecostal church from the time I was 18 to 20. Or no, 16 to 20, sorry. So about 4 years there. So I do have definitely a Christian background. At about 20, I kind of left that behind. And then in my 30s, I did start going to a Unity church, which is more New Age, but it definitely has some a Christian bent to it. They do read from the Bible and talk about Jesus. As far as my practice goes, I do not incorporate any Christian beliefs whatsoever into my practice. Now, I do celebrate Christian holidays. So here is my Santa Nutcracker. We definitely celebrate Christmas. We celebrate Easter. Those would be the two. And they do definitely have a very Christian feel to them when we celebrate, because my husband's family are all practicing Christians, my family as well. So, for example, on Christmas Eve, there will definitely be there will be a recitation of the Christmas story, whether it's literally from the Bible or a different version, but that's always told. And it's just kind of a part of the family traditions. I am okay with it in terms of my daughter being exposed to it. I want her to understand what Christianity is. I'm not trying to shield her from it or keep her away from it. And so, especially in terms of Christmas and Easter, we do talk about what that holiday means to Christians. And she's asked me, "Mom, are you a Christian?" And I have told her, "No, honey, I'm not." Briefly told her what I believe. She's still only 6. And we've talked about what Christians believe and how they celebrate and why they celebrate. I found it very interesting in talking about the winter solstice and the birth of the sun. And then we were talking about Christmas another night and the birth of Jesus, the Son of God. She goes, "Mom, that's really weird. It's 2 births of 2 sons." I'm like, kind of interesting, huh? So she is exposed to that. When we do celebrate those holidays, they definitely will have a Christian feel to them, but I'm totally fine with that because I want her to understand what Christianity is. We do talk about biblical stories in the sense of them as stories. I think it's important as a literate person to be aware of the Bible and the stories of the Bible. It does show up in literature a lot, and as an English teacher, you need to know those biblical allusions when they show up in different pieces of literature. In terms of how I feel about it, to me, celebrating Christmas is about honoring my family. It's about honoring my past. It's about honoring my heritage. And so I don't feel any conflict with that at all. We have a Christmas tree. We call it Christmas. We definitely, have Santa. I have a nativity. I have 2 nativities. Actually, I have one that I made myself and hand painted. And then we have another one. When we set the nativity up, I talk about what they mean to my daughter, about the wise men. She's heard the story, so she's familiar with that. But for me, it's all about tradition and family tradition and honoring that. And in terms of my practice, we also equally balance that with with Yule and the winter solstice, and talk about that and what that means. She's very intrigued by that. Easter, the same thing. We do talk about it from a Christian perspective. It is a Christian holiday. Easter itself is a Christian holiday, so we talk about the sacrifice of Christ, but then we try to make everything really applicable to our own lives and the things that we would want to sacrifice and things like that. As far as celebrating the Christian holidays, I like to do it. And part of the reason why, as I said, is honoring the way I was brought up. It's honoring my mom and dad. It's honoring those traditions that I had and passing those traditions and memories on to my daughter. But more than that, there is this collective energy, and I feel it, and I definitely tap into that collective energy, that spirit of giving during the holidays, that you can feel it. And so during my private, meditation time or ritual, I definitely tap into that energy, that it's just buzzing through the air. It's the same energy I tap into at Valentine's Day and New Year's and Easter, because as a culture that celebrates those things, that energy is just, it's there and there's no denying it. And so rather than fight it, I embrace it. I invite it into my life. I invite the energy into my practice. But I definitely don't have any elements of Christianity within my practice at all. I don't even have angels in my practice. Anything like that. So in terms of how we are working with Christian holidays, I see nothing wrong with it. I don't see it as a conflict of interest at all for me. Like I said, it's about family and memories and honoring my memories as a child and the traditions that my husband was raised with and the traditions that I was raised with. And I think that that's a really beautiful thing. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. You will see this before Yule, so I hope you all have a very, very blessed Yule and winter solstice on Sunday. Until we talk again next Wednesday, have a very, very blessed night.